Hello, fellow writers. I want to talk to you about assignment 3, the music argument. So let's go over that assignment sheet today. I did create a link over here on the side, assignment number 3, music argument. That's the folder I'm in right now. That's where I have the assignment sheet. I also have the T-Rex argument structure video. Please watch that. It's very important for this assignment. And I've also got a couple of articles that we'll be discussing in Blackboard. Okay, and of course when I'm finished with this video, I'll put that there too. So let's open this and take a look. Okay, I'm making this for more than one class, so I don't want to say anything about due dates. You're seeing a due date there. That is the due date for one of my classes. It might not be the due date for your class. So please look at your assignment sheet and make sure you know what your due date is. This assignment will be a little longer than the other two you've done. This one is 800 to 1,000 words. So of course you can go over 1,000 words if you get really inspired with your music argument and you want to keep writing past that, you can. You just need to make sure you have that minimum of 800 words. To get the points for length. I don't count the works cited in that. For this source, you'll have, for this assignment, you'll have sources and a works cited page, and I don't count that for the word count. I just count the body of the paper. So before you turn it in, you just want to make sure you know, in Word, you can highlight just part of the paper. So I'll just highlight the body of the paper. Make sure that's at least 500 before you turn it in. All right, what you're going to do for this assignment is write an evidence-supported argument having to do with music. The reason I choose music is, for one thing, it gets us away from some of those hot-button issues that have been debated so much that it's really hard to find a new angle. You know, there's some political issues that are that way. So with music, we can kind of avoid those things. Also, what I know about people and music is that people just about everybody likes some kind of music, and a lot of people don't just like some kind of music, they're really passionate about it. And also when you're passionate about something, you have opinions about it, and you might be thinking, well, I don't have any opinions about my music. No, you probably do. Maybe you have a band that is your favorite, and someone said to you, I don't think they're that good. You know, you might be tempted to say, oh, wait, no, they are good, and here's why. And you might start listing, you know, the reasons why you think they are good. So you probably have more opinions than you think, especially about your music, because music is something that can feel really personal to us, and we have opinions. Okay, and this information here came from a textbook I used to use, and I like the definition of argument they use. It's where truth-seeking and persuasion intersect. So persuasion is when you're trying to, you know, convince your audience to agree with you about something, but you've also got to have it intersecting with truth-seeking. You probably see fairly often where someone is trying to convince someone of something, but there's not truth-seeking involved in that. You've got to have truth-seeking as part of your persuasion to make it an effective argument. Okay, here are the learning outcomes that you will complete by completing this assignment. Remember, later in the semester when we're working on our portfolio, you will want to talk about the writing you did for class and the learning outcomes you met through that writing, and this is where you can go to the top of assignment 3 assignment sheet, and here are the learning outcomes for assignment 3. Okay, this is very important to this assignment. You will need, sorry, I went too far. You will need to support your points with evidence. That means you need sources. The first thing I do when I open one of these up to grade it is scroll to the bottom and make sure there's a works cited page with sources on there. Because if there's not, if you don't have evidence supporting your argument, you do not have an argument. You need to have 3 to 5 sources for this assignment. And again, if you want to put more than 5 in there, that's fine, but you do need to have at least 3. And here's something important to remember with this. If you are researching and you find one source that you think will work and you don't really want to look up anymore, you're going to have a hard time getting 800 words with one source. So you want to make sure you have at least 3. And if it looks like you're gonna not quite gonna get to 800 words, you'll probably want to look for some more. So the more sources you have, the easier it will be for you to get to that 800 word count. You will also need in-text citations, and I will show you how to do this. I will post a video in a later week, probably in the next couple of weeks, showing how to do that. And you also want to make sure this piece is factual, and make sure you are exercising academic integrity. You don't want to use something that's already been written that's floating around out there. You also don't want to turn in something that you have turned in for another class. That is actually another form of plagiarism. So make sure this is something new you've created for this class. Okay. And then this next part hasn't been as much of an issue since we're writing about music. It was more of an issue when we had topics like gun control and abortion and things like that. But just remember that we're going to be discussing some of these topics and participating in peer review. So we'll be sharing our topics and viewpoints with each other. So let's just please stay respectful. If someone is writing a music argument about a band they love that you hate, it's okay. You can hate that band, but please be respectful. And remember, when we do peer review, we're giving feedback on each other's arguments. It doesn't really matter if we agree with their arguments or not. Okay, so there's another due date, so that might be yours, it might not, so please look at your own assignment sheet. And of course, you're going to want to turn this assignment in by uploading it as a Word document in Blackboard, like we do all of them. Okay, when you are thinking about topics, this is very important. You want to make sure that your topic is debatable. That means that it has an opposing view. If you are trying to argue something that does not have an opposing view, you really won't have an argument, and you'll find that it's really hard to write since you won't really have a basis for an argument. Some of the examples of topics that students have tried to write about for this assignment in the past that are not debatable, that have not worked very well, something like people have been listening to music since the beginning of time. So that's not really debatable. We know music has always been around. It's probably impossible to pinpoint exactly when it started, but we know that it's very old. It's probably about as old as humans are. So no one's going to really debate that. No one's going to come along and say, oh, no, that's not true. Music wasn't invented until 1803, because we know that's not true. Also, I've had papers before where people will try to make an argument and say music comes in all different genres. So that's also not debatable, because we know music comes in all different genres, and there's not really a way to argue with that. Okay, so when you're trying to think of a topic, try to think of what the opposing view is. So if I think of a topic like music is fundamental to children's development and should be required in public schools, somebody could say, well, it shouldn't really be required. Maybe it should be optional. Or somebody could say maybe it's not fundamental to children's development. So, and those are opposing views that you could probably build an argument for. So just make sure whatever topic you choose has an opposing view. So what I've got here this is a list of examples of topics. You can choose one of these. You can choose something else. But these are just ideas that would work because they do have opposing views. So the music industry has been improved by the availability of music online. The music industry has been compromised by the availability of music online. Those are opposing views of the same argument, and you could write a solid argument for either side of that. I've just got some other ones. Concert ticket prices have become exorbitant. They cost too much now. Or you could say high concert ticket prices are justified because of all the hard work that the artist and their crew go to put on a live show. Let's see, music awards are meaningless and should be done away with. Maybe the Grammys come on and you hate the Grammys, but maybe you think music awards do a good job of showcasing the best talent the music industry has to offer. Let's see. There's a couple of other ideas. Of course, it doesn't have to be about popular music. It could be about music in schools. It could be, like music therapy is a relatively new career that I've just started hearing about it maybe in the last 15 or 20 years or so. So maybe you could write an argument about why music therapy is a valid form of therapy and how it can really help people. So you don't have to go with popular music. You can think of, there's all kinds of things out there because there are so many different kinds of music out there. Okay, one that I get a lot of, and it's okay as long as you can build a compelling argument, is that, a certain kind of music has lyrics that are violent and promote violence. So I get that a lot about, rap music promotes violence. But then I also get a lot of papers on the other side saying even though some rap lyrics are violent, rap music itself does not promote violence. It doesn't cause violence. So you can think about some of that. Okay. So while you're writing, if you want to make sure you have a valid argument and that you can come up with a solid argument with your topic, you can always use T-REX. I have a separate video about T-REX. Please watch that. It's very important. It can help you decide if you have a debatable topic. It can help you come up with your thesis statement, and it can also give you kind of a rough outline so you can get started writing your paper. So please watch that video. Here's the scoring guide. It looks a lot like some of our other assignments. Clarity and organization is 20%. Appropriateness to selected audience. Use of persuasive elements. So this is, where you've got evidence supporting your points. You have sources from credible sources that you're using their information to support your points. Length, of course, you want to get at least 800 words to get the points for that. Grammar and mechanics, 15%. MLA format, proper citation, 15%. And we will work more on citations since using in-text citations and formatting a works cited page might be a little new to some of you, so we will work more on that in the coming weeks. Okay, so here's the assignment sheet, and please watch that T-REX video also, and I am going to close out of this. I will see you guys soon.